Hello everyone, this is Jackson100 here, and welcome back to another video. Today I've got a deck profile on a Treatoad Raccoon deck, because Treatoad is OP, and I thought, the raccoons would synergize pretty well, because they're all level 2s, and I just really like playing raccoons, so I thought I'd try this deck out, and it's pretty good. Starting off, I've got 3 copies of Gameciel, the sea turtle Kaiju. It's a water, so you can discard it for Sport Frog, or you can get it back with Treatoad's last effect, and it's also an aqua, so you can use it for Treatoad's second effect. And then it's a pretty good monster on its own, get rid of any big threats like a Cosmo Ship, etc. Although normally this deck's pretty good at getting over stuff like that with Sandayu, where you can copy their attack, or Centuria, where you can bounce it back to the hand. But you just get rid of the threats of this. And it also has 2200 attack, so you can get over it with most of your Synchros. So Armades will get over it, Junk will get over it, Nat Beast will crash into it, Unicore will get over it, and Hastur will get over it, and then Crumble Logos and Treatoad can crash into it if you really need to. Got 1 copy of Thunder King Rai-Oh, basically just the third copy of a mistake, but then also when it's normal this is like a sort of a threat, because in this deck, you're summoning sort of weak monsters, so like maybe unless you summon Junk Synchron and then go for like a Synchro, that's the only really normal summon that's going to threaten your opponent. So Rai-Oh's sort of just a threat on its own, and this also got the second effect, which is sort of useful. It's got 2 copies of Junk Synchron, just summoning you guys back. They go for like a level 5 Synchro. If you've got something else on board, then you can go for like an XYZ or a level 4 Synchro. I normally go for Herald if I do this, because then I'll be able to swing with a bunch of stuff. But if I pen out something like Mirror Force, I can always Herald to negate it, because Mirror Force is the bane of my existence in this deck, or any variety of Mirror Force I should say. So stopping it is pretty useful. Got 1 copy of Tree Otter, it's a water, so same thing as Gameciel with the Sport Frog and Treatoad's last effect. And if I have another beast, I can boost any of my guys by 1k, so things you can do is boost itself to make it 22, and then you can Sandayu to get a 22 token if there's nothing else on board. Or you can also boost your token, so say copy the Dark Destroyer, so it's got 3k attack, I can boost that to 4k and then attack it with Dark Destroyer without having my token be destroyed. I've got 3 copies of Sport Frog, basically just the easiest way to get Treatoad out, ditch the Ronintoadin, special it, and then mill itself, and then banish for Ronintoadin, and then boom, there's the Treatoad. And then also it's just another way to get like an extra Seal Synchro out, maybe turn 1 if you don't open Obedience called. So you sort of have a decent board, even though I didn't open this. Got 2 copies of the Fabled Cerburrel. So one of the reasons I'm running this is because Unicore is a really good Synchro, and another reason is because when it's started the grave I get to special it, and there's a few discard outlets in this deck. Valerifawn, Twin Twister, Dinomischus, and Wing Blast. So sort of like the same thing as Sport Frog, it's just a way to get to special out, so you can go for things. Got 1 copy of Wind-Up Kitten. It's basically Compulse, but a monster. And then the sort of also thing you do with it is Obedience School. I normally, because you need 2 Fs to go into Nat Beast, so I normally summon this and Valerifawn, because I'd rather keep Tantan and Kalantosa in the deck, and so same with Ponpoko, because it only gets its effect when it's normal, so I'd rather just draw them instead of having to special them with the Obedience School. Got 2 copies of Baby Raccoon Ponpoko. You can run 3 if you want, but I'm only running 2 because of deck space, and so I don't want to get to 42 cards, because Obedience School might be a bit too hard to draw then. It's sort of screw me over. And then the only target really is Tantan anyway, so I think 2 is fine. Got 2 copies of Valerifawn. So I get to discard a card to special a level 2 or lower beast in face up attack or face down defense mode, so maybe I can special summon a Kalantosa and pop something, discard a Cerburrel, special that, and then special something else, or even if I have something on board already, I can always just set a Tantan so that I can get like an extra Seal Synchro out as a threat, and then even if I deal with that, I have the option of Tantan, Kalantosa, pop something next turn. So I've got 2 copies of Kalantosa. When it's special by a beast, I get to pop something. I normally go for back row with this, because like I said when I was talking about Gameciel, dealing with big monsters isn't really an issue, but the main issue is the back row is stopping me from dealing with the big monsters, so if I pop the back row, I can, just go through without having to care about anything. 2 is, I think, the best number, because 1 is too little, you really need more, but 3 is too much, because if you draw this card, it's sort of just fuck all in your hand, so it's too cloggy. I've got 3 copies of Ronintoadin, this is the other half of the Sport Frog engine. Maybe you could like set it and try to bluff you got a Tantan, and then even if they do attack it, it's still 2k. But then maybe you can get the guy to survive, and then go for next Synchro next turn. Unless I've got 3 copies of Baby Raccoon Tantan, so I need to flip to a special level 2 beast in your deck, so Kalantosa for pop, Wind-Up Kitten to bounce the thing, Cerburrel if you want to go to like Unicore or something, or Valerifawn. So if you there's some Valerifawn, discard 2, 3. Yeah, discard anything, then special something from your grave, and then normal summon something. You've got, 4 cards for the 2 Xyzs or Synchros, whatever you want to go for there. For the spells, I've got 3 copies of Obedience Gold, so it lets me summon 3 level 2 or lower beasts with different names. Now if that's negated, then I can do summon beasts first turn, which is fine, because normally you go for Nat Beast of it, or you can go for 2 Sandayus, so you'd summon 2 Earths, so Valerifawn you have to summon. And I normally summon Wind-Up Kitten, and then I just go for Cerburrel and Tree Otter, and then I Xyz with these 2 for Sandayu, get the token, and then sync with these. Although it's also so good if you have Valerifawn in your hand, so it's especially from the deck, you can summon it from your hand, then discard something to get more cards on board, basically. Got 3 copies of Twin Twister, basically because, like I said, I hate background, so it just goes with that. For traps, I got 2 copies of Burgesstoma Dinomischus, so it's a little better than Karma Cut in this deck because it's second ability where I get to special it from the grave whenever a trap's activated, and it's also an Aqua, so I can then go for Treatoad with this guy. And I got 1 copy of Phoenix Wind Blast instead of like a 3rd copy of this. Just prefer the flexibility. I can bounce a back row back with it, or I can like time walk for a turn by bouncing opponent's monster that is like normal summoned back to the top of the deck, so they had to do the same thing again next turn. So I just basically get 2 turns free then, which is pretty good. Got 2 good Anti-Spell Fragrance, just to lock down anyone that uses spells and pendulums. Because normally, you haven't got many spells in the deck. I've got like 3, 6, 8, even if I just bring in all the 2 from my side deck. And then normally you just play a bead, it's called first turn, and then not really need to care about using it again. And then you normally just set the Twin Twister anyway. So Anti-Spell doesn't really hurt you that much. Got 2 copies of Mistake. This deck doesn't search, so basically anyone that searches is going to get screwed. And we've got the Solemn Brigade of 2 copies of Strike and 1 copy of Warning. The extra trick, I got 1 copy of Armades, basically just to not have any abilities be activated when it's attacked, so again, spells and traps sort of stops it then. I can get attack in, anything like BAs, any flip effects, anything, just anything that activates in the damage step, gonna get stopped. And I got 1 copy of Junk Warrior, this card's really good for OTKs, so say you already have a 2k token from Sandayu, summon this guy, it's gonna go to 43, and get another token for 43, then you'll attack for 11,600, which is normally gonna kill somebody, not gonna lie. Got 1 copy of Nat Beast, I said being it's gold, although you can summon it if you can get like the token and then 2 Valerifawn and then something else out regularly, and then it just locks down your opponent's sort of like anti-spell, but a bit harder. You got 1 copy of the Fabled Unicore. This card is the best level 4 synchro in the deck, because normally opponent and I will end up having a similar card size, hand card size, so it basically just negates a bunch of stuff. Say we have the same card size, they draw a card for turn. Either they're going to have to play something, get it negated, or they're going to have to like set a back row and then play the thing. And then let's say Twin Twister their back row, and maybe that was like an important spell they wanted to use, but they couldn't because same hand size. And this doesn't trigger; it's a continuous effect because there's no semicolon in it. Semicolon, no, there's no colon in it. So there's no activation requirement, so it doesn't start a chain. So basically, this means that it only cares about hand size at the end. So wherever the card resolves. So, for example, if they play a card and they have 1 less than us, we can always Phoenix Wind Blast or Dinomischus to get our same hand size to negate that spell. Or say if they try and use something like Honest or any like Maxi or something, when they have 1 more card in their hand than us, that's going to get negated too, which is pretty good. Got 1 copy of Great Old One Hastur, so if it's sent to the grave, I get to target a face-up monster opponent controls and basically lock down their biggest guy because it can attack, and then its effect's negated. But then when it's sent to the field to the graveyard, I get to take control of the monster. So the ways I can do this in this deck is I can Kalantosa it, or I can Twin Twister this, and then maybe something my opponent controls, and then I get to steal the guy. Oh, rip Skype. 1 copy of Herald the Arclight, so it's sort of like another Unicore or Treatoad. Any spell trap or monster effect gets activated, I can tribute it to negate it, and then also any card sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard is banished instead, so something like things down like Light Swans or Dark Worlds, Burning Abyss with Dante, etc. And then there's the 3rd effect, although there's no level 2 rituals, so it's not really that useful. For Xyzs, I got 1 copy of Downerd Magician. So basically, normally you just use Sandayu twice to get the 2 tokens, and then you just have a 1k Xyzs there sitting there doing nothing, so step the Downerd on top of it, make it 23. Or even if you have to summon something with 3 materials, you can make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2700 if you would need to run over something. And then also there's piercing, which is They're so good if they've got something set to go for like an OTK. One copy of number 45, Crumble Logos. Psychic Attachment Material to target something that's face up. Negates the effect of that card, and then as long as both of this and that card are still face up, neither player can use that card. So it's sort of like a mini prohibition in a way, but it also sort of negates effects. Got Daigusto Treatoad. This card has 3 effects. It's super OP. If I can do it. So its first effect is to stand my face, I can attach a material to summon a frog. So swap frog, and then I get 2 mil Ronintoadin with that. And then once per turn during either player's turn, when an opponent activates a spell or trap or monster effect, I can send an Aqua monster from the hand or field to the graveyard. So this includes this card. And I get to negate that card, and then if I do, destroy it, and then, well, negate it and destroy it. There you go. And then if I destroy it, I can set it to my side of the field, which is sort of cool. And then its last effect is, this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one water monster in your graveyard and then add to your hand. So, yeah. So I can get my guys back like Gameciel, Tree Otter, Swap Frog, Ronintoadin, the other copy of itself, one with a Cat Shark. Got one copy of Sky's Cavalry Centuria. This card is sort of good. It's sort of good, it is pretty good. Maybe want to run 2 copies of it, maybe drop the Phoenix or the Cat Shark. But I think, those 2 cards work pretty well together. Basically, it comes from a battle as long as it has an Xyzs material, and then you can detach 1 to bounce anything in attack back to their hands, so any big guys, you can get rid of them. Sort of a cool play you can do is use it on your own Gameciel, and then bounce it back to your hands, and then you can use it again, like next turn or something. Got one copy of Daigusto Phoenix. So basically, if you use this Cat Shark, you can make it 3k and then attack for 6k with it. Or normally you can just go for 3,000, or you can use it on Hastur and then go for 46 attack there. So it's just a way to push a bit more damage than be able to normally with an XYZ. Although again, if you really wanted to take something out of the extra deck, it'd be this old Cat Shark. We've got to go to Sandayu, so sort of same with Centuria. Maybe you want to boost up this up to a 3rd copy. What it does is you can attach material and basically get a level 1 token. Its attack becomes the same as the highest on the field, so either you can copy your opponent's biggest threat and then run over it crash into it with the token, or you can double your own biggest threat. And then also you can sort of do a pseudo lock with it if you have 2 of them, because when I have another beast, it can be just on the battle or card effects. So you need to bounce it back to the hand or something. So there's sort of a pseudo lock there. And I got one copy of Cat Shark. So as long as I have the Xyzs material, it's originally water. So Swap Frog, Ronintoadin or Tree Otter. It can be just on a battle, and then during either player's turn, I can attach the material and then target a rank 4 or lower, and then double its attack. So something like a little combat trick I can do there. So deck I got one copy of Beast King Barbaros. So if I play a Beast Squad, I get to summon 3 guys, and then if I tribute all 3 of them from Barbaros, I get to blood my entire opponent's field with him. So, I can basically just win a game straight off of that play, and then it has 3k attack, so I can, run in for 3,000. I mean, if not, maybe I can tribute it for 2, get a 3k guy, or I can just normal summon it for 19, sort of the same thing as Thunder King, sort of just a threat on its own. Got one copy of Vanity's Fiend, and then one copy of Majesty's Fiend. They basically do the same thing, sort of. You can run 2 of one, and then none of the other if you want, but I prefer, to mix match 1-on-1, so that I can, get all of the effect negation and the special summon negation if I wanted to. So to go to the Spell Canceller, it's just another Nat Beast, basically. To go to the Flying Sea, this screws anything like BA over really hard. And then, so the cool thing you can do is if you bounce it back to the top of your deck with Wing Blast, you can draw it for your turn, and then you can attack with your guys, and then even if they try and make a play next turn, you can just redrop the Flying Sea on them. To go to Max Sea, basically just if anyone's with a special lot. And then it's also a level 2, which synergizes with the deck if I wanted to go for an Exosia Synchro with it. So it's not completely dead in my hand. Got one copy of Rai-Oh, basically just anyone that swarms, just blow up all their guys. One copy of the Monarch Stormforth, to make it easy to summon any of these cards. Got one copy of Vanishing Emptiness, just for anything that specials a lot. One copy of Macrocosmos. This deck does sort of use a decent amount with Swap Frog, Ronin, Valerifawn, or the effect of Cerburrel, but then normally if you're going first, you would get all the cards to the graveyard already with like a Beading Skull and stuff, whatever, that you need for Valerifawn or whatever. And sort of the same thing as when you Anti-Spell Mistake, you go for like a first turn Nat Beast, and Anti-Spell Mistake and then Macrocosmos to completely screw over decks. So I mean, Macrocosmos will literally destroy anything like Light Swans, etc. It doesn't totally cripple this deck, we can still play, but instant win against them basically, as long as you can keep it up. And that's got 2 copies of Imperial Iron Wall, basically just to stop anything like Cosmos, etc. There's a few other options for the deck I'll just go over. So Key Mouse, So basically a level 1 tuner that you can use. So normally to go for Nat Beast you need to have a Beast called and another card in your hand to summon. But with Key Mouse you can just summon 2 Earths and then Key Mouse and then Synchro. And then also as the ability when it's destroyed and sent to the grave I can add a level 3 or lower Beast from my deck to my hand. So it's sort of a searcher in a way. For the extra deck, can't I see? For the extra deck, yeah, I shall go for that first. You can run this card, which I don't think many people know about, Frozen Fitzgerald, because it's pretty specific. I need a Dark Tuner and a non-tuner Beast type. It just happens that Junk Synchron is a Dark Tuner, and we're also playing a bunch of Beast types. So it's sort of like a slightly stronger Armades, but only works in spell and traps. And then when it's destroyed, if it's the only monster I can control, basically, because there'll be no more left, I can discard the card to special it from the grave in defense mode. So use it to like stall, for example, or discard it to get like a Cerburrel effect off. And instead of this card, I can always use Karma Cut, which has the additional ability of banishing everything in the grave that has the same name as that card. Or I can use Raigeki Break, which does the same thing. Which is maybe instead of Phoenix Wind Blast, discard a card and then I get to destroy something instead of put it on top of their deck, so I can actually get rid of it forever, as opposed to just like delaying it a turn. Anyway, that's been it for the deck profile. This has been Jackson 100 signing off. Have a good day.